Yeah, sounds about right. The camera's dead.
Camera's dead as fuck. Camera's dead as fuck.
Foreshadowing is a narrative device in which suggestions or warnings about events to come are dropped or planted.
Hello and welcome to the 203rd installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, joined by other host, Jordan.
That's me, baby.
That's him.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Remind the people.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Red Public, Spotify Podcast, and the RSS Feed linked below. There's YouTube and Spotify that have the video platform where you can see us and smell us. No, you can't smell us. I can smell us, though.
You wouldn't want to.
You would not want to. It's like a good
I like to keep a fine layer of stench upon me.
I have a reference, but we'll get into that. You know, Instagram, TikTok, you can find us there. We make shorts sometimes, not really. And contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. Immediately when you said the layer of filth, I thought about that episode of SpongeBob where it's dirty versus clean. You remember that one? They like recreate the red versus blue.
Yeah, very vaguely I remember that.
Yeah, that's a banger episode.
That's where is that where is that where Patrick does the fucking "you are"? How do you spell "not my friend"? Is that from that episode?
Yes.
Okay.
He gets the dirt on his hand.
Yeah,
He goes,
yeah.
"You are." How do I
How
spell "not my
How
friend"?
do you spell "not my friend"?
Yeah.
I remember that episode like very, very vaguely.
Yeah. It's a good episode.
That's a similar. I think that one in terms of like probably because of the amount they aired it, which is not very many times that I've seen. It reminds me a lot of the Krabby Patty like machine episode where Squidward has like the machine of that makes the Krabby Patties.
SpongeBob faces off against
And
it.
it's basically like a retelling of John Henry versus the Machine, the actual riveting machine that would do the railroad stuff on its own. Which is interesting. There's like a surprising amount of literary references in SpongeBob.
Yeah, there is, especially early SpongeBob specifically.
Like the boots is just a retelling of the Telltale Heart. There's a retelling of Moby Dick in one of the more recent episodes,
I remember
which I don't know how the fuck they got that past the censors.
Yeah, that's a weird one to get past.
It's called Dopey Dick. You know, the times they say dick in that episode is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. But yeah, the early SpongeBob had a lot of that sort of storytelling, and that one was one of them. It was essentially telling about war. So, like, specifically, it was like essentially, oh my god, I'm fucking blanking on the name of the war, Civil War. There you go. That's what it was retelling.
We get a Fallout style intro of SpongeBob. War never changes. War never changes, SpongeBob.
I told you already. Yeah, that episode's a banger though. There's a lot of those. So,
man,
what you been up to in the last
20
minutes?
22 seconds since we stopped recording? Not a whole lot, to be honest with you. You know, so I take up most of my time. I take up most of my time these days writing stuff. And that's about it. Like, that's the thing I do. I work, and then I write things, and then I go to bed, and then I work, and then I write things, and then I go to bed. It's kind of how it's been.
Fair enough.
Nothing legible. I just be putting scribbles down on pages.
Like an insane person.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. That tracks. Just
my room is covered in esoteric symbols that mean nothing to anyone except me.
Yeah. That tracks. I've seen it. Yeah. I
got my own alphabet.
Yeah. Fucking alphabet. You're doing like a version of like Morse code in there with dots and dashes. And like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
What is this? It's my own. It's called Chris script. It's my own algorithm type shit.
Chris script.
It's my own alphabet.
That's fucking wild. Oh my god, I keep yawning. It's pissing me off.
Wake up! Wake up!
It was a late fucking night last night, dude. I just need to... I don't know. I need like caffeine directly into my veins.
Sorry.
The hell are you stimming?
Yeah.
I had a feeling that's oh my god. Chris,
Yeah.
have you played anything? Or have you just been writing? And that's it.
I played like some Repo, and that's kind of it.
That was the only thing you played. Did you see Subnautica 2 got the gameplay trailer?
I didn't see the gameplay trailer. I saw the first trailer that came out. I don't know. I think I didn't really play Sub-Zero when it came out, but I heard a lot of people say it was a kind of a disappointment.
Oh, that tracks.
I'd be interested to see what they do with this one. It's just what I hope they don't do is continuously amp up scale in an egregious way, because I think that's what happened with like the Subnautica modding community. It was like, all right, what if we make bigger Leviathans, and then bigger Leviathans, and then bigger Leviathans, and then bigger Leviathans?
Bigger's not always better.
And then it loses its scare factor entirely. Where, like, I remember the visceral fear I felt the first time I faced a Reaper Leviathan in that game. And if you add this, like, absurdly long, like, this absurdly large Leviathan that doesn't exist anywhere except the dead zone, if you add that to the game, like, I'm not interested in that, and it's not scary. Because it's like, I don't ever have to go there, number one.
Right, that's a big one.
And number two, like, I probably don't even fucking register to this thing.
Right.
If it's that large, I probably register as, like, an ant.
By compare, yeah.
Like, what mind do you pay ants?
That's fair.
They
really have to get in your way for you to do anything.
The only time I'll kill an ant, really, is if it's in my house.
Yeah.
Then I'll usually just kill the ant.
Yeah.
You know what I will say about bugs is the people who go through the effort of putting the cup on the bug and bringing it back outside, you are better people than me. I'm not doing all that.
I mean, it doesn't help that where you're located. It's pretty like annoying to get outside, frankly.
Kill that fucking thing. I don't care. I did find a snake in my bathroom once.
Really?
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
This is years ago. But I was in my bathroom, and then I saw something on the bath mat. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I like ignored it for a second, and then I came back and I was like, "That wasn't what I thought it was, right?" And I looked. No, yeah, it was a snake on my bath mat.
Like a garden snake? Or?
Yeah, it was a baby one too. So I picked him up and I brought him outside.
Fucking yeeted him into the woods.
I brought him outside. I will bring out a snake because I think, less so because I like snakes, more so because I think killing a snake is a bit more of a logistical thing than killing a bug.
Fair. You gotta bash that thing.
Killing a bug, I can just, bah, and then I flush it or throw it away or whatever. Killing a snake is like, all right, bah, 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 bah.
Get the meat tenderizer
I'm
out.
gonna fucking bash the thing to death. I don't know if I want anything that I have to bash to death.
It's fair.
Oh, awesome. So what now?
So technical difficulties aside. Son of a bitch. I knew when it turned orange. I've never seen it do that before. I was like, it's gonna be a problem.
I just, when you plug something in, it's got so much, you got so much power that you're just pulling directly from a wall and you still die? You stupid piece of shit.
Yeah. That's how that goes.
Sony, fix the charging circuitry in your camera.
You dumb bitch.
Make it work better.
Yeah. But as you were saying, bashing something to death is different than just squashing a bug.
Yes.
So I agree, but also I stand on what I said probably 140 episodes ago. Fuck a snake. Fuck a snake. I hate snakes.
I'm indifferent to snakes.
Nah, fuck them.
I'm indifferent to snakes. Me and snakes can coexist peacefully.
Nah.
Snakes mind their business, I mind mine. Spiders, on the other hand, I hate spiders. I'm terrified of spiders.
Like, you're saying big spiders, right? Like a wolf spider? Or just spiders in general?
No, they gotta be like a certain size for me to be like viscerally terrified.
I would rather kill a spider than a snake.
But
like a big spider.
anything about like yay big or bigger, I'm fucking horrified.
Yeah.
I can't deal with spiders.
Yeah.
I will always bitch out on spiders. If you have a pet tarantula, I'm not coming over. I would rather be in a room with an unrestrained chimpanzee than a fucking tarantula. An unrestrained, frenzied chimpanzee than
with testicular torsion, so it's so angry.
A chimpanzee with testicular torsion. You're so goddamn mad. But I'd imagine if he had that going on, he's mad, but he's trying to fix it, so he's like idly angry. So you're just on the other side of the room like this, and he's just
like untwisting his nut.
just trying to untwist it.
It's like when you're playing a game and it's like spam square to like turn the sticky wheel.
Yeah.
He's like spamming the button. He's like,
it's like everything in God of War, like the new ones, where you just twist like a big wheel.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, I don't know. Like the spiders you see, the Australian spider, that fucking like brown, the brown sandy looking one that like blends in.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they're harmless. I don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna run that shit over with a
gun.
car.
I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Give me a nuclear armament. I'm gonna blow this house off the map.
I find snakes unpredictable. That's my issue with snakes. I can't read a snake.
So the thing is with snakes too is there's there are not really any dangerous ones around here. So I've dealt with like garden snakes and things like that, and I think like dangerous shit. Like we don't have rattlesnakes. We don't have like copperheads and shit, vipers and cobras and all that bullshit. We don't have shit like that. If I was in an area that was known to have rattlesnakes, I'd probably be a little more weary where I was stepping. Mm-hmm. But I'm not. I'm more scared of rattlesnakes as a theory than I am of the fact that they're a snake. In the same way, like I'm just as scared of a huntsman than I am like a black widow spider. Whereas like a black widow is horrifically venomous. Mm-hmm. Actually not as bad as people make it out to be. It can absolutely kill you, but it's kind of unlikely. I'm more scared of that thing, or I'm more scared of a huntsman in the same way I'm scared of like a black widow, where I know the black widow is going to kill me and the huntsman won't, but I just don't like spiders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like with snakes, I'm like, yeah, I'm scared of a rattlesnake because that thing will bite me and actually kill me. Mm. But like...
Spider's a spider to you, basically, is what you're saying.
Spider is spider is spider. Spider is dangerous.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people keep them as pets. I don't understand why people let them live in their house. I don't like spiders.
That part I don't get. I still feel the same way about snakes. I'm like, who the fuck wants a snake in the house? Imagine you're just fucking sleeping. All of a sudden, that little bitch gets out of his cage and just fucking is slinking on you.
What I think the thing with snakes is I can keep track of a snake pretty easily.
I suppose, because they are big.
I can keep track of a snake pretty easily. It's like it's not like a mouse. You know what I mean? Like a mouse is bigger, but you can lose track of a mouse pretty easily because they're quick.
Yeah.
A snake could be quick, but like they're long, so you can kind of get an eye on them.
Yeah. Oh, we see that little ass peeking.
Yeah, like a snake I can make sense of. A mouse I'm not scared of. I just think they're a pain in the ass.
I think the way snakes move is unsettling to me too.
I think that's my thing with spiders. It's like they move fucked up. I don't like that.
I mean, yeah, but they're just legs, but lots of them, you know? So, like, it made sense in my head. I'm like, oh, it has legs. It can move. Yeah, that track. But you get this fucking thing that just, like, slides and gyrates.
There's a little noodle.
You get a fucking noodle that gyrates. Like,
I'll show you a gyrating noodle in a minute. We can turn this camera back off.
So, but like, I don't know. Like, with a spider, I feel like no matter the size, like, I could fucking smash that with something in one hit, you know? Like, maybe not the huntsman, but, like, a black widow. If I saw that shit, like, on the table, I could bash it with this cup. I ain't gonna bash a snake with that.
Fair.
That's my problem. Snakes are unpredictable. They're slinky. You think you got them from behind, right? You get a sneak attack on them. You grab them from behind, and then they fucking wrap around and fucking swirl like a fucking like a turd.
Well, the
I hate
snake,
snakes.
especially like a garden snake, if you grab it, you can go, and now you got it.
Yeah, you got them by the back of the head, right? You got to
You got them by the back of their head. They can do whatever they want with the rest of their body, but they can't harm you at all.
Yeah.
They're gonna swing around. They're gonna try to escape. But
If I had to fight a snake, I'm doing the same thing I'm doing to a goose. I'm getting it from the first point I can reach. I'm spinning. I'm just spinning with that bitch, and I'm fucking. So
yeah,
I don't know. Snakes are not for me.
snakes don't freak me out, but other I don't know. I think it's only spiders really that freak me out in terms of like things that freak me out across the board.
Yeah.
A dangerous snake I'd be scared of. Also, things like a mountain lion
Or a moose. I would be scared of a fucking
I'd
moose.
be horrified of. I don't think moose inherently like are scary. Like it's gonna eat me. No, just moose kill people all the time just
for fun.
because they can.
Yeah.
Or like a mountain lion. Like it's unlikely I'd get killed by a mountain lion, but like
It's still a cat on steroids.
yeah, it's like it's a cat, and I feel like if my cat was determined enough, he could probably kill me.
He could definitely fuck you up, and he's a lot smaller.
Now if I had that thing but 200 pounds, yeah, it probably could kill me in
Fairly
seconds,
easily.
I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Despite what I did, it would be like, that's a big meal right there. Pounce on my shit.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, all right, that's it. I'm cooked. It's
Chat,
over.
is this it? Are we done?
It's over for me. I gotta get right with God before I go.
Before you get fucking dumped in kitty litter. Yeah, no. Mountain lions. Any of the cats are scary because, like, dude, a tiger. You see them creep. They don't make a sound, bro. I think it's like 1,100 pounds and not making a peep.
They are way too big to be as stealthy as they are.
Yeah, they put all their skill points in stealth.
They're
It's crazy.
Well, no, because they're also horrifically dangerous in terms of like being strong.
Oh, yeah, they do carry like fucking deer up trees and shit. Like,
Yeah, have you ever seen? I saw one picture of a tiger. He was like leaning down to drink out of a pond, and it looked like he had like a bodybuilder bicep.
yeah.
And what is this roided out kitty running around here? What is it doing?
He was drinking his creatine, bro.
Yeah, he's drinking these. What are they giving, bro? How much can he bench?
I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying. You in a cage with a tiger, give you a 50 BMG. I think you got it, Chris. I think you can do it.
If I give you an anti-material rifle, I feel like you got this one.
I think you might have that one. You have to figure out how to operate the rifle, but I think you got it.
Oh, I mean it can't be that hard. It's a rifle.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be.
It's like, you get the thing and the thing.
Put
and
the
then
bolt
you
bag,
boom,
yeah, bang, and tiger goes.
and you boom, you running around, meow, boom, no more.
I like the idea of you thinking you could shoot a 50 BMG, like, yeah, boom. you would rip your fucking arm off instantly. You better hope there's only one tiger because you are not getting up after you fire the thing. I would love to. I bet I could rocket jump. Reasonably, I bet I could rocket jump. Like, I bet I'm the right size. I could do it.
I could rocket jump.
I could definitely do it. I think the hardest part would be the rocket launcher itself would be heavy. So if I could somehow make a lightweight one, so it didn't add a lot to our total weight, I could definitely rocket jump. I can do it. And then I could learn how to rocket ride like they do in Fortnite. If I could stand on the rocket, that'd be kind of sick. I'll fight a tiger like that, dude. Chris, rocket ride me.
If we ever got into an altercation and you somehow inexplicably had a rocket launcher and you rocket jumped away, if I survived that altercation, I'd kill you. I'd imagine you trying that. You jump, and you're like, I'm gonna do it. Boom, and your legs just fly in different directions.
I hit the ground as a torso.
Yeah.
Like, ah!
Boom! He's dead. There's half of Jordan, and he's half a mile away.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of them over there, and a little bit of them over there.
I don't know. I'm convinced that God nerfed rocket launchers and grenades. They're not as effective as they seem. I mean, seriously, they're not that cool. Like they're cool, but like movies and media
They make them
has
seem
ruined
so
it.
much cooler in video games, honestly.
They really do. Like if you look at an actual rocket launcher, you're like, oh, it's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, that's
Grenades, fragmentation grenades are inexplicably the biggest downgrade from
Well,
reality. Like,
yes,
fucking awful.
because like that sort of thing, if you really think about it logistically, is like a really inefficient way of killing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like how much does one of those cost? And then how much does like a 30-round magazine cost? And you could kill probably more people realistically with that 30-round magazine than you could with one of those grenades.
Yeah. I mean, you're ultimately just going to like mostly injure. That's the biggest thing.
It's like you're just going to have a bunch of pissed off people who are still alive.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why they're so underwhelming. It's because like it's just we don't use them much because they're really inefficient for killing things.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Grenades seem like the end all be all, and then you see them in real life, and you're like, that's like a firework, basically.
Like I think when I was playing Call of Duty, these were way cooler. I think.
Like you blow in Siege, you can use grenades to blow holes in walls and stuff. I'm like, oh, I don't really work that good though. Like to be honest, I couldn't do that in real life. It's fucking stupid. I don't know. I'm just saying, God, you need to buff frag grenades.
You need to buff frag grenades
in the newest patch.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think of other things that need to be buffed. There was a few that I had in mind, and now I can't think of them.
Can we buff the 2009 Chevy Cobalt?
Buff the.
Just make it faster.
Yeah.
And less useless automatic-y. I would like to accelerate not in 5th gear. Thank you.
I see.
There's a weird bug. It just seems like I'm just always in 5th gear perpetually.
You know what I think needs to be patched? The speed of light.
Why? Too fast?
No, it's too slow.
Too slow.
Like, not being able to travel faster than the speed of light, I think it's just like, if we could do that, I mean, we'd be an interplanetary civilization already.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the idea that light travels pretty quick.
It's pretty speedy, yeah.
Very quick, in fact. But you're telling me light has to travel at that ludicrous speed for 4 entire years until it gets to the next closest thing in the universe.
Yeah.
I just, it's a little lame. I'll be honest. I think that needs to be patched.
I think if we just buffed it to be like maybe 10 times speed, 10x speed, yeah.
Or like 100 or 1,000,000 times that. So instead of going 1,000,000 light years away, it's just like 1 year.
That'd be cool.
And we travel 1,000,000 light years. Now it's a 1-year mission. You're like all the way over on the other side of the galaxy or whatever.
Yeah.
We need to figure that one out. Someone get on it, please. Jarvis, get on faster than light travel, please.
I don't know, man. I wonder if there is something out there faster than light.
No.
There's gotta be something.
I feel
there's
like
always a bigger fish.
It is
Chris.
just like a gap that exists that is like kind of lame, right?
It
like,
is,
so
yeah.
it has to. There's got to. Well, technically, the expansion of the universe, I think, is faster than light.
That's fair.
And we're trying to figure out how that is. Because there was a point at which it was really tiny, and then within like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a second, it was universe-sized.
How? Explain. Elaborate. Jarvis, figure this shit out.
Jarvis, figure out the Big Bang for me. Thank you.
That's just like, yeah, I don't see how the fuck.
I think one time there was a little particle, and then it was a big particle.
Yeah, it's just like how. But
it was.
But like,
and
why?
Then it became big.
Why was the particle there to begin with?
I put it there.
Oh, that makes sense actually.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was there, and I put it. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, why was the particle there?
Or maybe it's a situation. It's a situation like the Who's, where the Who's all live on a flower in a field, right? Or the Grinch. The Grinch lives on a snowflake. What if we're just on, a cosmic snowflake type shit,
I mean, we essentially are in the grand scheme of things.
I guess. But, like, what if this whole thing we got is just, like, one piece of, like, an even bigger thing?
Yeah.
One snowflake in the snowfall, you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. Like, our everything is that one snowflake.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If we get on this faster than light travel thing, I'm telling you.
Just saying.
What if we just got to get on that one?
I think we should just use the Yggdrasil tree. It seems like the easiest way to do.
Yeah.
Seems way more effective, actually.
Kratos and Atreus were able to go across that,
and they're not very quick.
They were able to get across an entire realm.
Yeah, and they're not very quick. They run pretty slow, actually.
Yeah, honestly. This was after Kratos flipped the tree on its head, which did happen in the previous installment of the game.
Yeah.
So maybe we should get on that too.
Flip the tree. We can
flip the tree over. So
I just hope one day we finally get like an answer to something, like an alien shows up like, yo, look, and they eviscerate us.
A single alien shows up. It's like, hey guys, I'm an alien. And he shows up. And I'd like to imagine I would like to believe we would welcome this alien in. And like, all right, tell us your alien secrets. But we would immediately kill him, right?
We would try, but...
Like, an alien would show up here on Earth and would be like, greetings, Earthlings, and he would get ripped apart.
Especially if we landed in, like, Texas or something.
If E.T. landed for real, if E.T. was set in a realistic environment, E.T. would have been shot immediately.
Yeah.
He would have been shot before he even found all the Reese's Pieces. He would have been shot and killed and put on some redneck's wall.
It makes me wonder, though, because if you remember, we had a specific teacher in high school, both of us, who made a
shot
comment.
An extraterrestrial. I remember that.
He made a point one day that has always stuck with me. The exact quote of like, if extraterrestrial life traveled to Earth and scanned the planet or looked for intelligent life, they would scan us and go, yeah, there's no intelligent life there. Because by comparison, for them to have that ability, we are so far behind.
True.
So, like, I feel like the chance of aliens actually stopping would be incredibly rare. I think we would sooner find them ourselves, like, in deep space. By accident. Like, what the fuck is that? And it's just an alien jorking it.
We're going to get on James Webb, the James Webb telescope. We're going to get images back, and it's going to be an alien just stroking his alien dick. We can even see like a little speech bubble coming out. I'm over here stroking my shit. I'm stroking my alien shit right now.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing.
Also, they would also very likely take on a form that is entirely different to ours.
It's not humanoid, yeah.
Like the amount of times you see aliens in fiction and they are just humanoid beings
that are like green.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is a person but green, or a person but gray, or a person but blue. And not like this unexplainable, like,
dark matter looking.
Yeah. This fucking being that is entirely indescribable by the human mind. I think we need more incomprehensible aliens.
Yeah. That's arguably the most realistic aliens.
Yeah. Oh no, they need to be
like blobs and floating particles and shit. Yeah.
Different little dubious type creatures.
They're going to come down to the planet and be like, we're going to kill you all. I'll be like, yo, try this Dunkin' Donuts ice mocha swirl. And then they'll be like, God damn, that shit hits, bro. God damn.
They're going to come down to Earth. They're going to be like, hello, human. They're going to speak perfect English. Hello, humans. We've come to take over your planet. Like, all right, bet. First, try this Baja Blast. And he opens it, just... That's fucking amazing.
Have a good day.
Wait, hang on. We need this back on the ship.
That's how Mountain Dew goes. Inter-universal.
Intergalactic Mountain Dew, because we give Baja Blast to an alien, and he's like, this shit fucking hits, bro.
He's like, yo, Timmy, stop, don't kill him. Hang on. This shit slaps.
Or I like the idea too that aliens are so far ahead of us technologically, but are so far behind us in terms of like armaments, where they show up and they have like sticks and like swords or whatever, and we show up and we're like, hey, check this out. Boom! We drop a nuclear bomb.
Could you imagine?
Hey, aliens, you got that little sharp stick? Check this shit out. And now I become death, destroyer of worlds. As a nuclear bomb goes off in the distance.
They're like, we're raiding your planet for resources. Like, here, take this tubular-looking thing on your ship. Bring this back to your homeworld and push that button.
They all die of radiation poisoning instantly.
We hand them plutonium. Like, here you go.
She'll be like, we used this for power. What did you do with it? Oh.
Check this shit out. You see that guy?
Hey. There were 2 cities that existed on a map one time, and we deleted them. We deleted them from the map.
Instantaneous.
It was instant.
Yeah.
Or, check this out, and they show off like a machine gun or something.
Oh, man.
They show up, they're like, oh, these guys are fucked up.
Dude, they're on the edge of their seats like, this shit's sick. And then we show them frag grenades, and that's fucking gay. That shit sucks. That shit blows. Now we're definitely killing all of you.
Yeah, now we're gonna destroy your planet. They have
you and your pussy frag grenades.
Sticks. They have sticks, swords, bows and arrows, planet eviscerating laser. Those are the weapons they have.
They've never figured out anything in between.
Never anything in between. They didn't get to the nuke, but they got to planet eviscerating laser.
Yeah.
They have like a little device they can put on the planet that just vacuum decays it out of existence.
Fucking inverts its own gravitational field and just fucking blows it to smithereens.
Sends everyone outward.
Yeah, just fucking. It's like a set of Legos coming apart. Just whole thing just separates into pieces. And whoops. Send us into the sun. My bad. Their ship just has like a big hand on it. Just grabs the planet, throws it into the sun like a fucking softball. Okay.
I like that idea though. That they put all their resources and tech into like actual technology instead of weapons.
They have like hovercrafts and shit.
They teleport down somehow.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, we haven't gotten on the teleporting thing or the faster than light thing, but we got guns.
You ever heard of an automatic Kalashnikov?
Yeah. You ever heard about this Armalite rifle?
Yeah. Never start with a slingshot. Like, check this thing out.
Check this thing out. We get this stone over there.
Real fast.
Like, oh, interesting. Now we got to do it faster.
And pointier. And hotter.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Fuck. That was... I feel like there's some... there's deep lore there that we could get into.
Deep lore.
These fucking aliens. Oh, fuck.
Because I think in the cosmic sense, imagine humans are probably like... If we take aliens as a whole, right? Assuming... Which I think is a safe assumption. There are other like sentient, sapient alien civilizations. I would like to imagine of the average ones, humans are like a particularly violent one. Has to be, right?
Yeah, we have to be on the fringe. Yeah, we're on the fringe side for like, we're kind of cracked.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, there's a planet full of omnivorous ambush predators. They all have front-facing eyes, sharp canines. They can run for 17 miles and not get tired. We gotta get this. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
we gotta run.
They got these things that they hold and instant death to anything. Yeah, I mean, you would think though, right? We probably are on the fringe of like being the more violent.
Maybe that's why aliens don't fuck with us. Maybe they're everywhere and they're just like
they're the binoculars, like, God damn.
oh, interesting.
Maybe hey, who knows? Maybe they watch the happenings of the planet as like a sitcom. This is like a sitcom for them, where they're just like, what the fuck is going on down there? Like, who's this guy? What's he doing? He's sinking it.
I think something similar to that is a plotline in Futurama.
Oh, really?
Where there's a civilization that's 1,000 light years away and is getting the radio waves from a show that ended in 1999. And I guess I think the broadcast cuts out or something like that, and he has to go to Earth to get the finale for the show.
That's kind of funny, actually. Yeah.
If I remember that plotline correctly, I believe that's what happens.
I mean, it's an interesting concept. It could be. We could be observed at any given moment.
They have their own laugh track they do every time.
Fucking laugh track. Imagine aliens right now listening to this podcast like, what the fuck?
I mean, there's a because we've been blasting radio waves out, right? So maybe they're like, they get some radio waves through, and they're like, it's some music, and they're like, oh, this shit's kind of good.
Yeah.
Or they would have no understanding of it whatsoever, and or maybe their concept of rhythm is entirely different.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah, rhythm to them is an entirely different thing.
Because like we as humans, I feel, have like an inherent rhythm where like even walking, talking, whatever has an inherent rhythm.
Yeah, a rhythm. Yeah.
Maybe their rhythm's just different.
They're just like totally out of sync. It's like they're walking in like 2 steps at a time. Like it's like a weird.
There's no sync to it at all.
Yeah, it's like totally randomized. Like it's like RNG whether or not they can take a step or not. That'd be kind of interesting.
It's like the Five Nights at Freddy's algorithm, where like every frame there's a chance something can happen.
Oh yeah.
And then, based on whatever data they feel, they can take a step or they cannot. But most of the time they're not. So I once watched a video about it was a full breakdown of the algorithm of how the animatronics in the first Five Nights at Freddy's game worked, and it's actually like pretty interesting because like every frame there's a chance something happens, and those percentages are altered by I don't know if it's every frame, it might be every second. The chances are altered by how you set the difficulty in the game or what night you're on or whatever. Or like there's certain points where Freddy will always 100% take a move. He will always move regardless.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's just algorithmically how they're sort of thinking. So to speak. That's pretty cool. The first FNAF was made by one guy, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think the first like 3 or 4. Because he released those games back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
He released the first Five Nights at Freddy's game and was like, all right, Halloween next year. I remember this very distinctly. Halloween next year, the next one's coming out. And then like 3 weeks later it came out.
Yeah. That's funny. That's fair enough. They have some of the spin-off games are actually pretty good, though. I will say, like FNAF Help Wanted for VR is pretty cool.
That actually looked like a lot of fun, I'll be honest.
Yeah. And then there's the other one. I forget what it was called, but the first-person, like, not survival horror, but, like, horror.
Security breach.
Yeah, that one was actually, like, interesting conceptually.
Conceptually, I guess. But, like, that was firmly into, like, the kidification of the game.
Yeah, it was.
Where, like, the danger in a lot of cases is eliminated. And the jump scares are, like, toned way down. Mm-hmm. So I think jump scares are a cheap way to scare people anyway.
Building tension is way cooler.
Yeah. Where if you can make an audience feel dread for an extended amount of time, now that's how you make atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about the Outlast games recently, and how I liked those games a lot, actually. Like, they did rely a lot on jump scares for, like, a lot of their stuff, or, like, even, like, body horror for some of their stuff. But, like, for the most part, a lot of Outlast 1 and 2's thing is just like, well, I don't have a weapon, so I'm just kind of creeping through bushes and hiding in lockers, and, like, shit's moving around, behind the scenes. So I'm excited to see if they make an Outlast 3. Apparently they are.
I don't know. Where do they go from here, right?
Well, they went from crazy asylum people, which was like a government project, right? That was kind of like the through line for the first one.
To crazy cult people.
To crazy cult people living in like a mountainous wooded area. So like really,
the asylum people, the cult people, there's got to be a third people, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think because Outlast Trials combines the two a little bit, but I think it leans more towards the asylum side of it. So maybe they would go back to something like that, like a mental hospital.
Asylum horror is interesting because, like, I don't know. There's a lot of, I think that as a background for something has like a lot of, it's got legs.
Yeah, I think asylums in general are just like inherently kind of creepy. So
cult also has like a lot of legs.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of interesting stories just across the board you can tell with a cult.
Yeah. They could do like a fucking Jonestown Massacre style, but that's what kind of inspired Outlast 2 from what
Isn't that kind of what happens in Outlast 2?
It's similar, yeah. I don't think it's
like
exactly.
At the end, like they're all dead.
Oh, maybe it is, yeah.
And then you meet like the priest guy, the father, and he kills himself or something.
Yeah, maybe that is it. They all killed themselves. You're right. Because they think that the reckoning is coming or whatever.
I think that does happen in the...
Yeah, I knew it was inspired by it, but no, I
too.
forgot. It did kind of actually go the Jonestown route. So, yeah, I guess you couldn't do that. That one was also interesting, too, because you were like a news reporter. I mean, I guess you weren't both. You were like a journalist. But
I think, personally, I'll say this. The Outlast games, the ones that exist, they don't work if you give your character a gun or weapon of any kind.
No, you can't have any defense, really.
Like, it relies on your character being a bitch, really.
In, like, every scenario.
But, and this is not to deride Outlast too much, but, like, at a certain point, right, if you're being pursued by, from what you can tell, it's just kind of like a guy.
A big guy.
A big dude, but he's a dude nonetheless. And he's chasing you down. Are you not going to just, like, throw a punch at him?
Yeah, hit him with a little fucking haymaker or something.
Yeah, like, you find him. You're like, you maybe run away from him at first. You know, oh, shit, okay, here he is. And then you just go, bah! You know, right in the back of the head or something.
Like, when you're hiding in the locker and he, like, walks by, you just fucking pop out and grab him and
push the locker door into him and you go, come on, Tubby, and you shove him in the locker.
Fucking lock him in there.
Well, to be fair, in one of the animations where he kills you, he picks you up by the head and pulls your body away from your head.
Billy?
So he does have
Billy.
that ability.
Billy does do that.
He does have that ability just inherently, which personally, I can't do that.
But like the guy with the shears, the doctor.
Oh, the doctor. Absolutely, like, you could beat the dog shit out of that guy.
You could get those shears and fucking just chop him up. Fucking cut him up.
And you're just telling me he has to incidentally die because he falls in an elevator and gets cut in half by an elevator?
I feel like Outlast could do one of those. You know what? That's a good point, though, Chris. I really feel like Outlast could benefit from a story where, like, you do start off as that bitch and you're like, you know what? I'm fighting back.
You know what? I'm done.
And, like, you could do it. They could do it in, like, a witty way where it isn't just, like, you find a shotgun and now you're fucking wrecking house. But it's, like, you have to set up traps maybe in, like, a hallway and lure them so that you can hide in a locker and then
that
bust
could be
out.
Cool.
That'd be kind of sick. And that's how you escape, is like you gotta take them out, and then eventually you get to like the big Billy bitch sort of, kind of like in Outlast 2, the bitch with the pickaxe.
Yeah.
Like the head person or whatever, and you have to like outwit them or do something like drop an elevator on them or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it could be. I think traps could be the way to go for like an Outlast 3, or like it's very dependent on getting the jump on the enemies. Like imagine. Big Billy sneaking around, he's slinking around, and then what's the reporter's name? Miles, guy you play as in Outlast 1, Miles. That sounds correct.
It does sound correct.
Miles Morales. Miles Morales jumps out and starts choking him to death.
Miles Upshur.
Miles, he jumps out, and right as big boy runs past, he jumps out and just like fucking puts him in a full choke and just chokes him out.
He's got the leg wrap and everything. He's just fucking holding him.
It's like, come here, buddy. Choking him out.
Fucking bites his ear off. He's like, I'll kill you, boy. Dude, that would be kind of sick, actually.
Or I think what would be interesting, maybe not as a game, but as a show, is like a Mike Ehrmantraut type figure, like doing his normal schemes, but in a horror scenario. Where in Breaking Bad and to a greater extent, Better Call Saul, Mike Ehrmantraut does these like very elaborate schemes that show off how knowledgeable he is just generally, and it's always like a kind of calm way to induce egregious bodily harm in certain ways. Like there's a scene in Better Call Saul where some cartel guys break into his house, and the way he figures this out is he gets a doormat, and he puts like carbon paper underneath, so if anyone steps on it, there'll be shoe prints in the carbon paper. So he comes home, checks the carbon paper, there's shoe prints, and he knows there's people there, and he comes into the house and he sneaks in, and he gets in like a bathroom or something. And he's like, where the fuck are these guys? He's got his gun. Where the fuck are these guys? And then he flicks on the TV, and the two guys run out, and he bashes one of the guys with a door.
Yeah, that's kind of sick.
And hits him with a, pistol whips him, grabs that guy's gun. Now he's got that guy's gun, and he puts his gun on the other guy.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
And I would like to see a figure like that where Mike Ehrmantraut, just an old guy. Right? Like, he's not physically imposing, really. But he's just very knowledgeable on how to get the jump on people.
He's got a cunning, sly sort of.
That would be an interesting twist up. I don't think you ever see smart or clever characters in horror, really.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any horror sort of movie or any like game, whatever, where the protagonist is explicitly smart.
Yeah, I don't think there's any that are explicitly smart. The only thing that jumps out to me is like Scream 5, where there's a whole part where, because the killer's famous at that point in time in the movie, there's Halloween costumes. So the people who are being hunted by him actually dress up like him at one point in order to sort of blend in and get sort of out of the way.
Interesting.
So that's kind of like the only thing, like that sort of wittiness. But yeah, I can't think of any like explicitly smart. Like my brain immediately goes to like fucking Home Alone. Like where Kevin's totally outmatched.
Like a Kevin McAllister.
Yeah. Like get me that in horror where like I'm setting up fucking paint buckets on strings to knock out Billy or some shit.
A bunch of marbles and shit.
Yeah. That'd be kind of funny. It's like Bully, where you can run and throw marbles behind you and trip people who are chasing you. You just got fucking Billy, boom, 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 and he just fucking slips, breaks his ankle. He's like, ah!
Oh, fuck. Yeah, we never see things like that.
Yeah.
We need more of it, I feel.
I think it would be pretty cool.
That's what I'm saying. Give us a budget.
Yeah.
We should just start pitching shit to studios. We should just call Samuel Sony, say like, we got a movie for you, or Melvin Marvel, hey, we got a movie for you. Walter Disney, we'll dig up his corpse.
Walter Disney, yeah.
Well, Walter Disney, we have an idea for you.
Isn't his head like frozen somewhere or some shit?
I mean, so says the conspiracy. I don't know if I believe that.
I thought it was proved at one point.
Not that I heard. I don't necessarily believe. I mean,
we'll find out.
Yeah, if we end up in 20 years from now, we end up with like fucking Disney Bot 9000, and it's Walt Disney's head on this like horrific robot.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because the thing is, we aren't really great at cryogenically freezing people now. And Walt Disney died in the 60s, I think.
Yeah.
Which kind of lines up with, I think, when we started cryogenically freezing people.
Yeah.
At least publicly. But we can't really do it now that well. So
Let alone then.
yeah, in the 60s probably not. But yeah, like I said, if we have that's where AI endpoint is. We get the Allied master computer, but the secret is to convert it to AGI is fucking Walt Disney's head and brain.
That was the code. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was like the skeleton key.
He comes back. I am Disney, and he comes back, and then he watches like a modern Disney movie, and and he immediately makes a racist comment
Yeah.
within seconds.
Before it even hits the title screen.
It's just like, what is this?
Yeah, cunning horror protagonist would be cool. So. I don't know how it would translate to gameplay though.
True.
If we're talking about a game, a movie, it makes
A movie or TV show makes sense, but also I think TV show for horror in general doesn't make a lot of sense because horror has to be tight. I feel this is what happened with creepypastas. Was like the horror works when you're telling a story that's like, pretty tight story, like 10 pages or whatever. Horror works less when you're trying to put a novel's worth of effort into it.
Yeah.
So I just think, horror needs to be a bit tight. So like a movie works.
Yeah. It's been proven numerous times.
Short games work.
Yeah.
So, but books and television shows work less so, I think. Unless it's an anthology. That could be interesting.
And anthologies, yeah, that could be cool.
Or it could be like, it's an anthology, but it stars the same character every time.
Just constantly
It's
getting
not
chased.
contiguous, but he's just like, how does this keep happening to me? How does this keep happening? As he goes into his 58th haunted house this week.
Yeah.
How could this keep happening?
Episode 4, he goes to sleep in his suburban apartment, and then episode 5, he's at Camp Crystal Lake. Like, what the fuck?
I don't even have the rights for this.
That would be kind of funny. That would be kind of funny. You have like a Jason, but he's covered with a mosaic, and he's like, I can't even show you on screen.
We can't even show this guy. I don't know.
Maybe that's the wittiness. Maybe he realizes he's in like a simulation or some sort of trickery, and then he starts to use wits to be like, you're not even real, and he disappears and shit like that. That could be kind of cool.
It's like kind of a more sarcastic take of like the first Alan Wake game. Where he's just like, you're not even real. This is a TV show. Yo, cut the cameras. And the show ends.
Yeah, there you go. Man.
Or it pans out and he's just on set. And that's how. And then we can amp up even further that we follow into his real life because he was just an actor. He realizes where he makes the point that he's just an actor and pans out to the set, and then something fucked up starts happening in his real life.
And now the line is blurred.
And the lines just get blurred. And then we could even take it even further meta, and it punches out again to another TV set.
Yep.
I think we should get on that. Let's get on that right now.
That would be quite interesting.
I think we should. Yeah, I'm saying.
And it punches out to a podcast of us talking about the idea. That's the finale.
That's how it goes. I think we should just start pitching these things to studios. I feel that makes sense.
I don't even think we would get a single word with anybody.
We'd be like, listen to me right now. Listen, you're gonna love this one.
No. Denied.
No. And they kill us.
Yeah. They're like, drop them through the floor. And we just fall through the floor 80 stories to our death.
We're talking to some Warner Bros. Exec, and he's like, and henchmen come in and start hitting us with fucking
the
baseball
fucking goon
bats.
squad shows up. Then we have to fight our way out.
We had to fight our way out.
That's the House of Horrors, dude.
That's another movie. There's another movie right there where it's just two guys are trying to pitch this exact TV show.
Yeah.
And they have to fight their way out of Warner Brothers headquarters. And every level of the buildings, I imagine it's like it starts at the top of a skyscraper and they got to go down through the skyscraper, and it's just back to back, like action type movie.
Well, I was going to say, Tell Me Not, this would be sick. It's a little off of what we originally said, but every floor is one of their IPs. So one floor you're fighting Batman, the next you're in Hogwarts.
Dude, the Looney Tunes floor, I would shit my pants.
Dude, that's actually a kind of neat concept for a movie, to be honest.
The Looney Tunes floor would be horrifying. Because imagine being a regular person in Looney Tunes.
I mean, yeah.
And a fucking rabbit, a humanoid rabbit runs up to you and he fucking bashes you over the head with a cruise ship.
Yeah, you go to shoot him with a rifle and he bends the barrel back at you. You're like, what the fuck?
He bends the barrel back and he shoots you in the head. But you don't have toon powers. Only he does.
Yeah, so you just die.
So instead of having like soot cover your face or whatever, you just actually die.
Yeah.
like,
and then as you're sitting there bleeding out, the Tasmanian devil just comes and saws you in half. Like, my leg.
Oh fuck.
That could be something.
I think the Batman floor would be terrifying, but I think
we would lose that one hands down.
The Looney Tunes floor would be even worse.
I feel like I wish we came up with this topic earlier because I want to do almost like a ranking of like what floors do you think we could survive? Like
Well,
Batman, we're done for.
You also have to think about what you consider to be a Warner Brothers property too, because Warner owns HBO.
Yeah.
So you could say like The Sopranos is
I'm going with
a
everything.
Warner Brothers property.
Yeah, I'm going with everything. Anything that has their logo, basically.
So that extends to everything HBO.
Hogwarts.
So there's a fucking Game of Thrones floor.
I think we got that one. We have guns. Fuck them.
Well, they have dragons, don't they?
I forgot about the dragons.
There's like a Game of Thrones floor, and then you go down, and there's like there's like a Last Week Tonight with John Oliver show.
Oh, that one we got.
So we just walked through a taping of John Oliver's broadcast.
He's like, "What the fuck, dude? You're in front of the camera."
I feel like he would just play that as a bit, like this guy walked in, just walked across our camera.
Yeah.
And we go down, and there's like a Last of Us floor.
That's what I was gonna say is the Last of Us floor, which that one we could get reasonably.
There's a Scoobus Doobus floor.
Yo,
Scooby Doo floor.
You get mauled by a dog.
We get mauled by a talking Great Dane.
As other people are getting jumped by a couple of teenagers, like, oh. Yeah, that could be something. Fucking Shadow of Mordor is there.
Yeah, I think we could do that. I think Warner Brothers hit us up.
We're the idea makers, so like you can't
kind
do
of
it
the
yourself.
idea
You can't
guys.
take that idea and do it. You gotta have us there.
You can't take that idea because even though we used all your properties, you can't take the idea.
No, take
Can't
these
do
back.
it.
Jesus mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still thinking of just ridiculous floors that could exist. There's like a fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm floor where it's just we get caught into an unexplainable scenario by just happenstance. Or we're one of the incidental characters that Larry David fucks over for no reason.
Yeah, it could be interesting. I think next time, Chris, we should try to remember. We should do Will Garrett win and return in 204.
Will Geralt win this time? Next time,
Ken's Bud's Bunny.
Geralt
with toon
will
powers.
lose that shit.
Yeah. Gonna get hit with a cruise ship, like you said.
Yeah. Geralt is gonna show up? He's gonna, what is this, a rabbit? And Bugs. He's gonna hit Bugs with the sword, and he's gonna go he's gonna pull his body upwards or something, and it's gonna dodge the sword.
Yeah.
Like, you're dealing with a trickster god. You are not dealing with just
A mere
monster,
rabbit,
right?
Yeah.
I think we'll put Geralt on every single one of those floors and see which ones he comes out victorious on. So I run back to the John Oliver floor. He runs and he just kills John Oliver.
Fucking ignites him as he walks by and just burns him to death.
He just kills this British guy for no reason. Oh, man. Will Geralt win? Will return.
Next time on the Synapse Misfire Podcast.
On the Synapse Misfire Podcast.
Will Geralt win?
Will Geralt win? Him versus us.
Yes. Yes, he will.
He will win. Unless you get the jump on him, just shoot him.
You're distracted. I'm like, he's like, what is this oaf? And then I just hit him in the back of the head with buckshot.
I'd be like, hey, over here. And he runs towards me, just boom, gets killed.
I wonder if his hearing is good enough that, like, as I pull the trigger, the squeak of the trigger, he's like, whoa.
He hears he hears the trigger and he turns, but the bullet probably too fast, I imagine.
Yeah. All right, that's all she wrote.
We gotta get out of here.
As always, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Reddit, Spotify Podcasts, and the RSS feed linked below. YouTube and Spotify have the video platform where you can see us sometimes. You can contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me, send your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats, and then also Instagram, TikTok. Sometimes we're there.
That's it.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.